Okay, y'all, let me ask you a question. All right, now I want you to look around. I don't want you to feel embarrassed answering this question, but do you talk to yourself sometimes? Now ask the question. Do you talk to yourself sometimes? You're probably talking to yourself right now just trying to answer this question, aren't you? I think it's helpful to talk to yourself at various times. I mean, I talk to myself all the time. Making this video kind of seems like I'm kind of talking to myself.
Who else is here? I heard you talking.
I often talk aloud to myself. I find it extraordinarily useful.
But I feel that talking to yourself is helpful in everyday life. Sometimes you gotta air that shit out.
Is it hot in here, Mrs. Bob? Why is it so hot in here?
I always think of it like a diagram. You gotta draw it out. Sometimes people need a visual aid when you're coming up against a problem. A diagram shows you right there what's going on. You can see it. It's a visual. Talking to yourself and airing shit out is a way for you to vocally understand a situation that's going on. If you were in a situation, would you just jump straight to a conclusion and do something without thinking about it? Or would you stop and think, is this a good idea? Should I do this? Let me weigh out some pros and cons real quick to see if this is the right decision. Plus, saying it out loud and then hearing it back to yourself kind of makes you think that maybe that's not the best idea. Like, maybe I want to jump that bridge. Saying it out loud, I'm like, that doesn't really sound like the best idea. There have been plenty of times in my life where I've been stuck in a situation, or you think something's going on that may not be going on. You may just be misinterpreting the situation. And I got to air that shit out, you know? I got to think about it. Now, if you're talking to yourself, make sure that you're in an area where no one's around, okay? Because you don't want people to think you're crazy.
You know what? I don't blame myself. No, not this time, Tony. Excuse me one second. How you doing, little Tony? Bad? Why do you feel bad? Because everything's falling apart and I can't do anything about it? It's not your fault. I know it's not my fault.
I mean, I'm not going Jim Carrey talking to yourself out loud.
Don't listen to him! It's not me! It's Hank! Come back here, Hank! I'm not through with you!
Sometimes I talk to myself when I'm working out, but it's more just to encourage myself to finish the set. Kind of think of it like, you know, like being a Power Ranger, and you gotta look around the corner to make sure ain't nobody around before you morph or teleport. I'm sure you talk to yourself in the car when you're angry. I know I've talked to myself in the car when I'm angry, like when somebody cuts you off. No, this motherfucker did not just cut me off. Or when you've had a hard day at work and you get in the car and you're just like,
fuck this job, cause the boss act like a bitch.
Hey, everything good over here?
Bitch.
Yes, sir. Sir.
sometimes I can't just think of it in my mind, because in my mind I got too much stuff going on all the time. It's hard for me to quiet my mind because I'm thinking about 4 or 5 different things, you know, going on in my life. Sometimes you just gotta air it out and just think out loud, like, you know, what it is do I need to do? Maybe I should write this down. I find it helpful. If you're like me and you're making a video about talking to yourself, then you're a pretty confident person. Sometimes talking to yourself is a helpful tool to, you know, go about life. I will admit that there has been a time where talking to myself has backfired on me. Like when I'm walking on the way home from the gym and I'll catch myself talking to myself and there's somebody sitting outside their apartment and I just play it off like I got my headphones in, like I'm on the phone, and I'm like, that was close.